All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this live stream where we will be solving some CTF challenges. It's been quite a while since I streamed last time, so it's fun to be back. So today we're going to look at some challenges from the Gen Z Hack Challenge from last year. And together with me today, I have Apu, who will help me out. So yeah, hello, Apu.
Hello.
Nice. So maybe before we get into this, some practicalities. There's a Discord server for this event, and maybe Apu can talk a little bit about that in a second about how it can work with questions and stuff. If you want to ask questions in the YouTube chat, that also works. If you have any other comments, but the whole idea of these streams is that I try to approach these challenges without having looked at them before. So I don't know the solution or anything. So if you have solved these challenges before, because these are from last year, do not write any spoilers in the chat, because that would kind of like ruin the idea behind this. But if you have any questions of clarification or anything like that, then yeah, we will happily, write in the chat. And then we will go on for a while. I will try to solve some challenges. We'll discuss ideas and methods with Apo, and yeah, we'll see what happens. So, but before we begin, Apo, maybe you could just tell us a little bit about like what is this challenge that we're going to look at, like this competition or event that we're looking at.
Yes. So hello again. So my name is Aapo Oxman, working at a Finnish cybersecurity company called Nixu. But today is about this Finnish challenge.fi generation chat hack challenge. This was we put this together last year to get this kind of younger people, especially in Finland, this kind of foothold into CTF challenges and to have some kind of like a Discord server and a little bit of this kind of community around this kind of CTFs and cybersecurity. So there are quite many Finnish cybersecurity companies and government entities organizing this Generation Chat Hack Challenge. And last year we had quite many challenges and quite many people actually solving them, and but also some struggles, of course, as these CTFs go, and I think this some people have requested this kind of write-ups and these kind of, but of course having like getting to see someone solve these live is of course I like this approach quite a lot. So hopefully
Yeah.
everyone will learn something about this, and this might help in solving this kind of this year's challenges also, that you get insight into.
Yeah, that's really nice. Yeah, so as I said, there probably some write-ups and stuff from the previous years, but the difference between this and what we're doing here is that a lot of times if you read like a write-up for a challenge, it focuses a lot on like the solution, like the correct path to solving the challenges, but it might like glance over, how you came to that conclusion and like what things did you try that didn't work and so on. So this is what we will see here. We will see the struggle real time live. So I think this is a nice complement to reading these like write-ups, which is maybe like a more a quicker way to like read about maybe the solution. And this is more about the process and how to get to the solution. Yeah, but maybe enough talking for now, and let's get into it. So before this stream, people had requested some challenges specifically that we would look at. So we have a list here of some of the challenges that we will be taking a look at. As I said, I have not looked at these challenges before, so I have no idea how long this will take. And so we might not even get through all of this, or we might get through all of this. So if you have other challenges that you would want us, like as part of this competition from last year, that you would want us to look at, feel free to write them. But like as I said, I have no idea how far we will get today. But yeah, let's get into it. So we have these Project Cyber part 1, 2, 3. So this is the website from last year. So the challenges are still up on 2021.challenge.fi. So you cannot register and log in, but you can still access challenges, except if I understood correctly, the AWS challenges, they don't work anymore, right?
Yeah, I think those AWS challenges have been taken down.
Right, but everything else you can still try. So we are looking at here, cheating. Project Cyber 2021 part 1, 2, 3. So let me just update the status here on the stream, and then we will click this. So we have some instructions. Something about a game. There's still bugs. Tested it, seems to work fine. Cell fixes as DLC, nice. Server is at this address. So what I typically do here is I will create a directory for this challenge. Since I know this is like a 3-part challenge and I guess they're going to be related to each other, I'll just create like one folder for all of them. And then we can create a like notes.txt document. Also, by the way, please tell me if like the font size or anything is too small in any of the tools I'm using, and we will try to fix that. Yes. So running a version directly from something called JIT. So this is could be like just-in-time compilation is typically what this stands for. Achievements, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you will need Python 3 and Pygame, and links to that should work on major operating systems. Here is how to start a server, how to start a client, and then some Windows instructions. So we will download these files. What's this called? Release. So we have a zip archive. We can, oh, I'm in the wrong directory. So we should move this into this and go in here. We can look what this contains. A bunch of files, so that's fine. We unzip this. Chrome had small font. Yeah, absolutely. So I will, if this actually gets relevant, I will, I mean, I can increase it a little bit, I guess. Yes. Yeah. Hopefully there was nothing super important there yet. Anyway, we have unpacked this archive. So we have these, we have the server.py, client.py. We have a bunch of images, which is probably not going to be very important. Some images there, some images there. That's cool. And there's a game logic, a couple of more code files, probably shared between the client and the server. Okay, that's cool. And then we can see here, this is a server. I mean, at this point, I'm just like quickly kind of like scrolling through things, not looking for anything in particular, just getting a feel for like the structure of this software. Pygame, this is a client. Yeah, some kind of event loop here. Yeah, I mean, let's just try to set this up and run. So start the server, start the client. Let's try that. Maybe we need to terminal windows as well. So Python 3, maybe we should go into this directory. Python 3 server, no module called Pygame. I have not installed Pygame, so let's install that with pip. Oh, that was Weird in my terminal. Anyway, new attempt. Start the server. Okay, no error messages, so maybe the server is up and running. So let's run the client. Okay, we have a game. You can move with WASD, jump with space. I mean, you should probably read the source code to. Oh no, it's throwing things at me. I'm getting hit. I see my HP goes down. Do I have an attack? Sorry?
Yeah, you can also click things.
Oh, I can click. Okay, nice. And we're throwing things at these. Okay, reload. Okay, so there's like a cooldown. Okay, ammo, and then reload, and then I can shoot. Okay, nice. Okay, we have a game. I'm probably gonna die and then try harder. Will it like restart or maybe not? Can I even, do I have to like, yeah, just kill the process. Okay, so that's the game. And then they said here that it's also, they also have a server running here. So can we like specify in the client? Right, so here we can, in the Python code here, we have server address localhost, but we can change this to join the remote server. Let's just try to just do that quickly to just see that everything is working fine. And it seems like it is. Okay, but so let's go back to using the localhost. Yeah, so then we need to figure out what are we actually doing, like what are we trying to do. So let's just start. First of all, I'll just go back and read the instructions here. There was something about achievements that might be interesting. So the question is like, are we looking for vulnerabilities in the client? Are we looking for vulnerabilities in the server? Both. There's probably going to be some both. So yeah, let's just have a look a little bit what's going on here. So down here we have like the main loop of the game. So here it will connect to the server, and then we have, it will download a bunch of data and some JSON data that it will parse and then do stuff. Game state normal, reload, ammo, send event. Oh, this, okay, so this is how we communicate what we're doing. We can send an event called reload. Here we can send an event called shoot. So here you have an obvious question then, like, will the server actually check if we are allowed to shoot, for example? So we could probably then try to, here it's checks basically, like if we have ammo, then send the shoot event. So let's modify this and say if true or this condition. So basically this will always evaluate to true. So whenever we click, we will shoot regardless of whether we have ammo or not. So the question is like, will this work or will the server actually check things? We start the client again. And we see that we can perfectly fine shoot. Oh, I think I even killed an enemy off screen. So yeah, so this is already progress. We've managed to cheat a little bit in the game. So let's just see what happens. Yeah, so Apu, were you involved in making this series of challenge or someone
Yeah,
else?
I made this.
Okay, yeah, so you know exactly what's going on, but that's interesting. So that's, we can just all add a small comment here, like sheet works. We can see what other commands there are.
You can also go try that on the online server. So when you get something, then
right, that's a very good point. Maybe just killing an enemy is like, you know, a good idea. So let's connect to the server.
There seems to be another player there already.
Oh yeah. So we part 1 pew pew, and then there is a flag, and I cannot. Okay, I will just. It's Mamma Mia, Amo. I guess it's Il Infinitico. Okay, let's write this down here. Infinitico. Okay, nice. Let's just quit the client again. So if this would have been the live competition, we would have been able to submit this here, but if I understood it correctly, this will not work right now, right?
Yeah, you can't log in, so you can't.
Yeah,
submit
but
this flag.
you can just confirm for me then that like this is the correct first flag here.
Yes.
Okay, good. So we have solved part 1. I'm actually gonna update the status here. So moving on to part 2. Okay. Yes. So the other part that we didn't look at is maybe like what is this data that we actually receive from the server and we load. So let's see, we load some data here and then later down here we have common parse client event, and then so this is just okay, so send event is just a list, and we append these objects, which are like the commands we want to send on this list. And then there's some parsing here, and then we're sending this on the socket. So we're like creating, maybe this is like doing some validation or something. I don't know yet, but at least here we're sending stuff to the server. And then here it's receiving stuff back. So it's receiving a response, parsing the JSON, and it will get 2 items, the game state and achievements, and then it will update the current game state here. So it's your typical kind of like client server game loop here. You send a bunch of actions, you receive the new updated game state, and then this repeats. So just give me 1 second. Okay. Sorry. Yes. So first of all, let's look at these, like what these things that we send and receive, what they look like. So what we could do here is just add something here to print this data here, and then here we could print the event that every time we send an event to the server. And then maybe also here we could, let's see what's doing here. It's receiving, and then it's trying to decode this, receive until a valid JSON. Yes, so we should not print here. We should print this afterwards here. If we managed to decode it, that means it was valid JSON. And then we print it here, because if we put the print statement here, it might print out a bunch of like partial responses. So we're putting it here to make it a bit nicer. So if we run this, oh yeah, of course, it's going to print a lot of stuff. So actually, at the moment, let's skip printing the responses here. And let's start with just printing that initial thing we're receiving from the server. Okay, so this is what we get from the server. Initial data. It seems to be just our player ID, nothing too exciting. So let's look at what this thing that we send to the server looks like. So we added back the print statement for sending stuff. And then if we shoot, go right, stop, left, stop, jump, shoot, and there was a reload there. Okay, very reasonable. Oh, right, we're still connecting to the remote server. Let's do all of the like exploring and exploit development and so on our local instance. And then when we actually want to test stuff, we go to the remote server for like better performance. Oh, yeah, okay, that was much quicker. Okay, that's kind of nice.
Yeah, and of course, then you can see the server errors or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's also because we have the server here. So, and we haven't even looked at the server code yet, which actually we should probably do that. So if we look at the server code, um, let's see here. Here we have the same thing. We have a like in the main part here, they have a game state. Oh, they add a boss to the world. Interesting. Um, and then let's see what happens to get a new connection. Here it's like spawning enemies. And then here, if the number of bosses is 0, then we get an achievement. So this is probably something we want to accomplish. And then it goes through all of the enemies and it will try to shoot. Yeah, it's like looking at the position of the players, and I guess it's like maybe finding like the closest enemy player, or it's basically figuring out in what direction the enemies should be shooting. And then the same thing, it goes through the bosses, basically does the same thing, and then it updates, runs like the physics engine and so on. Let's see, where does it handle our start new thread? Okay, yes, here. So for each client, it will start this thread up here. And it will add the player to the world. It will send the player ID. And then here it goes through the loop where it will parse client events. Then it will here, after it has done this, it will dump the game state and send it so that you can send it to server. And also we have the achievements for each player. And this, so what I'm looking at here is like you can see that it's sending back the achievements. So it has a list of achievements for each player, and it uses this client ID as an index. So I had this thought like, can we control this? Like, could we get the achievements for another player? So I'm just tracing this backwards and seeing where does this come from. So we see that the client ID comes here from creating the player object. So it doesn't look like we can, like, so far it doesn't look like we can affect this. We can take a look here in, I guess we can look at the objects thing here in the common code. So here's a player. This is a constructor for a player. So the ID, it will just generate a random ID. There's some properties. Here's the move action. There's a mouse direction, draw. And here's a, okay, so that's just the player, and then we have a boss, move, draw, and then we have enemy, which is an object, and then we have projectile. So those seems to be the objects, and that's consistent with what we have seen in the game. Like we have players, enemies, bosses, and projectiles. So let's quickly look at the other pieces of code here. We have common.py, game state to dictionary, which is where we like dump the whole game state into a serializable format to send to the client. So again, here we see players, enemies, projectile, bosses. Those are like 3 lists that we are interested in. And here it goes through like add all the players to the list, add all the enemies to the list, add all the projectiles to the list, add all the bosses to the list. And then here it's parsing the client events. So this is interesting. So there's a question here. Do companies care about CTF experience when hiring? I would say it's like, it's one of many factors that could be relevant. Like, probably comparable to like, if you have other like projects in your spare time, like, programming projects or, yeah. So, I mean, it could definitely be relevant. But I would say more importantly, the skills you gain while playing CTF is applicable. Like that will make you like able to like do your job well, get through an interview, and so on. I don't know, Apo, if you have any additional comments on this.
Yeah, at least like working in this security consultancy field or doing this red teaming or security testing, then of course this CTF experience is something that like I think it's there's not much else that you can say that hey I know how to hack things other than hey I know how to do CTFs. Of course, like bug bounty or something like that might be relevant. But CTFs is at least that we are looking when people at like new people to the field are coming in. So we have them solve some CTF challenges to prove they know something.
Yeah. So I would say like, definitely, if you're putting together your like resume or something, if you have like a section with other, apart from your job experience, like definitely say like, I place ATFs in my spare time, or I don't know if you have some. I don't think like you necessarily need to like list like the specific competitions you have participated in, or like maybe if you have done like one of the like really high profile, like if you won the DEF CON CTF or whatever, then maybe you could put that. But I would say generally like I like playing CTFs as a kind of like a one element there. Um, anyway, parse client events. So here we can see what events we can actually send to the server. So it would go through like second place plat. Congratulations, that's very good. That's like one of the high profile CTFs, I would say. So we are going through the players and looking at their event, and we check the name, event name. So we have jump, shoot, left, right, stop, reload. So nothing surprising there. I mean, we have seen all of these. There was no like. It could have been interesting if there was like a hidden event here, like if event name is win or whatever. But there was nothing like this here. And then update the game state. You know, so when I'm looking at something like this, I'm not like necessarily like reading exactly every line of code when I'm doing like an initial pass of this. I'm trying to just get a general feel for what the code is doing, or seeing some like if there's some weird stuff going on. But I'm just trying to get like an understanding of what's going on. So there's some updates. Again, we see these references to like enemies, projectiles. Uh, Sorry, it was my phone ringing. I will have to wait. Bosses. And then there's some physics stuff going on here. And this, oh yeah, this message was listed when we destroyed one of the enemies. as well. Player, yeah, I don't see anything that's like sticks out here. So let's move on to achievements. This was not very interesting. It's just like a dictionary, and you can add achievements to this. And then there is the world, and this is just some constants. And this was just okay. So not that much going on. So what cheating did we do so far? We got infinite ammo healing. What if can we kind of like prevent ourselves from dying is another thing you could not like, classic cheat thing. Here is like game over. Here we see oh, well, right. We didn't look at all of this code up here in the client. So this is setting up window and stuff. But here we have game over is false, and game over can be triggered if oh yeah. So this is in Python. This is actually a feature it's not. I haven't really seen it in any other programming language, and it's actually kind of convenient. The for else thing, which says that like this else part will be run if there was no break from the loop. So very often in CTF situations, you can do like, you're trying to like brute force through some list of stuff, and then when you find the thing you're looking for, you break, and then you can say otherwise, like, oh, we failed to do the thing, for example. So it's a good construct. In this particular case, it's going through all the players and trying to find our player, and then it will break. But if it fails, then we are no longer in the list of players, and therefore we have died. So that's interesting.
Yeah, this was actually something that I learned from your stream, that this construct even exists.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's like the first time you see it, like what? Because it doesn't really exist in other languages. Well, a lot of them, but it's actually quite useful. It's basically like, look for something, and if you didn't find it, do this. Okay, and then it's just drawing stuff here. Right. So what determines... Okay, so it looks like it might be the case that the health management is not in the client. So we have to go back in the server and look there on the objects thing, I think. Or maybe it was in the physics part. Projectile draw. Wait, was that in? Yeah, here we have player HP stuff. Okay, so what's going on here? If we back up a little bit. So in the physics, it loops through every projectile, and then it will move the projectile, and then if the projectile is friendly, I wonder what a friendly projectile is. But then, okay, so here it's basically trying to, I mean, it's calculating like hit boxes and stuff. And here, if it hits an enemy, it decreases the enemy HP. If the enemy HP is 0, we get this first blood thing that we saw. Removes the projectile. Something with the boss, something with the force field. Oh, okay. If the projectile is close to the boss, we decrease. And then if distance to the boss hitbox plus. So it's doing two comparisons here, and if this one is true, it will just remove the projectile without decreasing the boss HP. And I'm not exactly sure how the math works out here, but I'm going to assume that this works out to a larger number than this, so that this is going to be encountered first, the projectile is going to be removed, and we're not going to damage the boss. So there's probably something like that going on, and this is probably basically what differentiates a boss from an enemy. And then same thing here with players. If players are hit, then decrease their HP. And then for every player here, it's like go through MSO. If we're touching an enemy, we lose HP. Okay, I see. I see what's going on here. So probably here the idea is that the boss has this force field, and only if you're really close to the boss, basically probably like on top of the boss, you can actually damage them. But regular enemies, if you touch them, you lose health. But for the boss, that's not the case. So if I understand this correctly, we will have to try this out. You can basically just like walk on top of the boss and then shoot them. And then since this if statement comes first, we should be able to damage the boss. So we'll have to look into this. Yeah, so first let's just try maybe like moving forward and see like how far away this boss actually is. So if it's fairly close, then maybe we can do this like manually like this, and otherwise we might have to do something more sophisticated. Okay, that was not. Should probably do something more sophisticated. So first of all, there isn't really any limit, right, to. Could we just like shoot even more with more than I click? So let's change this a little bit. We can, instead of appending one object like this, first of all, I'm just gonna comment this out so we can go back to this. So instead, what if we fire like 10 projectiles with each click? Will this work? So I think these projectiles end up, I don't know, either it's not working or they end up stacked on top of each other. So I'm just gonna see if this works, but maybe we can do.
You can see in the server code was the handler for the
Yeah,
event
so
parsing.
exactly. If we go to client, common parse client, parse event client for each event. So we could just print every event that we handle. Let's just restart the server and then do this and then just click once. Oh, I accidentally merged them all into one. I shouldn't have written it like this. I can do here. So this is maybe a bit difficult to read, but we're doing like a list comprehension to create one. So we're building a list containing 10 elements like this, and then we are appending. So this will create like one list of multiple lists like this, and then we are adding this onto the list of events. So yeah, that looks much better. So now each projectile we're shooting is 10 projectiles stacked on each other, although it might be the case that this is not even a good idea because of how the code works. Another thing I noticed while doing that editing is that it looks like we decide the location of this projectile. So I wonder, can we just set this freely? Like if we start with something not too outrageous like this, can we, so this should create the projectile a bit further away. Maybe that was a bit difficult to see. Maybe I went too far.
Yeah, if you might want to go check the parse client events function.
Yeah,
So what it actually the code does there.
probably a good idea. Let's go here. We can go to shoot. They thought about this. So they take the position and the direction from us, and it creates the projectile. But then it checks if the projectile is too far away from us, it's immediately removed again. So it was a reasonable idea, but it didn't work. That's interesting. And in a similar vein, like for example, doing the left and right, they don't actually add a position. They will just change our current direction. So we couldn't like send 100 right events at the same time and just jump very far to the right. So that's not gonna help us immediately. So one thing I want to try is in this server it creates a player at this position, and then here it creates a boss. So I just want to temporarily see like if this could work, like if we could get to the boss. So if I move the boss to start at, we were at 150, 150. So let's put the boss at like, what is it, like 500 maybe? This was in the server, so let's restart the server. Okay, so here we have the boss and, oh, okay, so the boss is also up in the air. which is also going to be an issue for our idea about being very close to the boss then. So that's also something we have to take into consideration. But yeah, so let's see. Were there any other things that we were looking at? Let's go back again to like this parsing and see if there's anything weird going on. Let's go back up one step. Threaded socket. Here we parse client events. Yeah, so this is like where the stuff that we send really ends up. And I guess this distance functions, there's nothing wrong with this. Yeah, it's just delta y, delta x, power square root. Yeah, nothing strange there. Of course, you could probably do some trickery with like nans and stuff, but that's not really going to help because the projectile is just going to end up in like an undefined, like it's not going to be in any particular location then. So what parameters are actually being used? The x, y, the projectile. Let's go look at projectile. What is direction? What is direction? Is this just an angle? Yeah, velocity, angle. So that's just an angle. So also doesn't help us. How does because as I said, like we're going to need to like get up in the air somehow. That's going to be interesting. So like here, jump, no. Where is body speed 2? Jump, move here. Y velocity. Where is this accessed? Here, if jump, we get some y velocity, but only if we are not already in the jumping state. So even if we would send multiple jump events at the same time, when is this changed back then? Was that also here in the normal? Oh, wait. This is interesting. It's using states for both reloading and jumping. So this means that, let's go back here. When we do jump, it says that if we are not jumping, then it's fine to be jumping, which means that if we are reloading, then we are not jumping. So we should be able to jump, reload, in like an infinite loop. First of all, let's change this back to 60. And then we should be able to we can modify the client simply if we do, because we already have like infinite ammo, so we don't really care about the intended functionality of reload anyway. So let's do like whenever we jump, we do a jump and a reload. And then also just say that we can always do this. Or sorry, like this. If we press space, then we want to jump and then reload. Start the server, start the client. Oh yeah, that worked, but it worked a little bit too well, I think. Why did that happen? Okay, because my single press here, it's probably firing like multiple iterations of the game loop. We can maybe do something like we have our coordinates, right? So we can do like if we press space and y is, so I think if I understand this correctly, the y is like starts at 0 at the top and it increases downwards. So if we are if we have a y position that's higher than 100, then we jump when we press jump. I'm going to print out my y position to see what's going on here. Yeah, it increases downwards, and I press jump, and I jump very far. Can I go to the right? Okay, so it's kind of working. We have our high jump cheat. Not sure why I'm still going. Okay, now I'm coming down again.
Yeah, it's just because you're measuring your position, but you're controlling your velocity.
Exactly. I was thinking that I would. All right. So we actually we still trigger a lot of events. Yes. Okay. And then we get to the boss here. Okay. But yeah, comment there. Anti-cheat as good as GTA Online. Yes. Okay, but the idea works. So we just have to do it a little bit better. So what do we want? We want to kind of like fly to the boss and then kill the boss. So let's just add, yeah, let's add the cap on the velocity. So like, no, wait, we don't have the velocity on the velocity is not on the client side, so we don't have that, or is it?
I think it's the same object, but it was, I think, y underscore well.
Oh, that was separate. Okay, so we do have the, okay, it's not, it's just that it's not used in the code. Here. So, okay. So if the velocity, well, we need to add some like reasonable value here. So if we're gonna have a negative y velocity. So if the velocity is larger than like, I don't know, -1 maybe, then we can do a jump. No, wait, we got like, okay, let's print it out again to get what's like a reasonable value. Oh, okay, no, wait, what? It's negative. The velocity is like in the wrong. Okay, so the coordinates are positive. The y coordinate is positive downwards, but the y velocity is positive upwards. Okay, that's an interesting choice. So let's flip this around then. Uh, if the velocity, what do we get from a normal jump? We got like 4. Yes. So as long as we can say that as long as the velocity is below 5, we can still jump. Right. Then I can do this. And this is better. This is more controllable. It's still a bit, I don't know, we're going to get shot down by these enemies still. So I should add, increase this thing and say that if this is above like, I don't know, minus 200, and maybe this is like, I don't know, less than 8, we can add like a little bit more to this. Okay, so this seems to be working, maybe. Okay, so we can do this, but then what's our strategy gonna be when we actually get to the boss? Because we need to be within 10 of the boss to actually be able to like shoot through the force field. So that's gonna be a bit precise, but I don't know. I'll make an easy attempt like this and see if this works. I'm gonna see where I am. Hmm.
Yeah, I think that was a bug on my part because I think it should be equals 0 and not minus 0 on the when you touch the boss. I think that might be actually a bug in the. So you should die
Uh,
when you go near the boss.
let's see. Oh, okay. So you mean that this is supposed to be like this initially, like, or
Yes.
interesting.
Yes.
So
So
okay,
you
so the I
should not be able to get near the boss.
okay. So let's even though this was in the original challenge, let's pretend that this is the case, which means that there's another bug intended here. Um, we um, what do we have here? As I said, like if the projectile um, first of all, was I even firing? Okay, I am firing stuff. But maybe what we should do here is, because it might be the case that these are like stacking on top of each other and not really. I just want to do like a small change here. And then something like this. So we like spread the projectiles out. Okay, so
There was a timer on the parsing of the event.
let's see. Let's go back to this. If shoot. Okay, I missed this part. Okay, there is a shoot timer. 15. Right. So let's just see if we skip this thing then, because this is obviously not going to work then to create multiple shots. So let's go back to the original shoot code. But let's just always shoot. So we'll see how fast we can fire. Okay, so this seems to be the maximum fire rate permitted by the server. Okay, I mean, that's fine, I guess. So the something, and then, oh no, now I'm not. Oh, okay, I guess it's removing the projectiles if we are, yeah, when they leave the screen, um, they are destroyed, of course. So if we are outside this outside the screen and we're shooting, then oh no, wait, it was faster. It's just that it only fires now when I'm generating mouse events. That's why I'm like wiggling my mouse back and forth. So we should change this in the client code to not care about mouse events and always just do this. Okay, let's
and because the projectiles are so slow that when you walk to the right, then they stack together, and if you walk to the left, then they are more spaced apart.
I see. Yeah. Then that's okay. Yeah, that's true. Um, all right. Let's um, but okay, I mean, like we could, of course, like with these options we have right now, we could probably get there to the end, but it's still going to be, I mean, we could just walk and fire, I guess, and that we could probably make it to the end. But it's still unclear then how you would, because like 10 is a very small, if we go back here to the, was it common? The boss thing here. Like for this to be true, 10 is a very short distance. Uh, what is the boss hitbox? Actually, I haven't looked at that. Um, oh, it's going to be in objects. So this calculation is the projectile hitbox and the boss hitbox. So the boss hitbox is 90, and then projectile is 30. So we have 45 plus 15. So this is going to be 60. 45, so 60. So this means that because like the hitbox, yeah, this is basically the distance we have when we're firing, which is fairly, this is probably the, if they actually intersect. I mean, this looks like a proper intersection code. It's like the radius or the diameter of the boss divided by 2 is like the radius of the boss and the radius of the projectile. If they intersect, then it's a hit. And then we need like 1/6 of that. So it's like, yeah, we need to be like on top of the boss, but we can't be on top of the boss. Or like the projectile need to be on top of the boss. Uh, but if we could, hmm. Yeah, I guess if you're right next to the boss, if you're so we can our projectiles can be created at most, what was it, 65 units away from us. So if we are standing 65 units away from exactly 65 units away from the boss, and we fire in the direction of the boss, then the projectile will be created 0 units away from the boss and actually damage the boss then. Uh, so that should work, but then you need to do all of this in a precise way and not die.
Yeah, and the player also has the hitbox. So when you go near the boss,
Right.
then that should be, I think that should be higher.
Let's see. This was enemy projectile. This was player hitbox 60. If you go back here, player hitbox. So this is 60 plus, what was it, 90?
Yes.
So that's 45 plus. Oh, right. Yes. So this is an issue because we can then, assuming that we're playing with this patched version of the game, we cannot actually be within 65 units of the boss because then we die.
Yeah, and then I think that calculation should be 75, but 45 plus 30, 75.
Yes, that's true. But the conclusion still holds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the question is like, can we get some kind of invincibility, or can we? I was also considering like here it's checking that our HP is equal to or below 0. So if it was just like equals to 0, then like if we manage to take more than 1 point of damage in a single frame, then we could get to like negative HP and survive that. But that's not the case. This will not work. Um, is there anything that prevents us from continuing to play? Right. They will player ID, client ID. Hmm. I was thinking it was like if it's possible to like die and still continue like sending events and stuff, but that's probably not possible because we are going to get removed. Player ID. Where does the client ID come from when it's parsing stuff? Server. Um, Client ID is, yeah, it's just set in the loop there. Uh, hmm, Interesting. Finally, oh yeah, so then when we disconnect, it will also remove the player. And then when it's parsing, it goes through if the player ID is equal, and we don't control any of these values, so we cannot continue sending events if we die. Or like we can continue sending events, but yeah, they will not be parsed then, or nothing will happen with them. Hmm. I'm a little bit unsure where to go from here, actually.
Yeah, there was some funky code in the parsing of the or the making the shoot events and parsing it. So at least you didn't go
Okay.
through those that or the shoot event.
Right. So we have if shoot timer is 0, then we can do this. We set the player shoot timer to this. We create a new projectile. What is this? True. Friendly player ID. Okay. And then we append it. And then we decrease the ammo. Don't we need to get projectile within 45 to boss? We need to get it within 10, right? To
Yes.
yeah. If we are somewhere between 10 and 75, no, what was it? It's 10 and 60. Then so here when the projectile hits, or it will check like the projectile, is it within 10 of the boss? Then it will actually damage the boss and then remove the projectile. Otherwise, it will look here. If it's if it's not below 10 but within 60, it will just remove the projectile. So we need to, well, one way we could solve this is by somehow making the projectile be within 10 of the boss without ever having been between 10 and 60 from the boss. So either because it's created there or because it moves so fast that it will like in one tick uh, move like this, for example. Um, so the event, client event. Right. What happens? Okay, this is interesting. What if okay, I mean, it doesn't really check kind of like what type or whatever these things are. So maybe there could be something interesting there. Like, what if this is not a number? What happens then? Um, I don't know yet, but that's like one consideration. And then we should also look in the projectile constructor. Here it will set a random ID, set the player ID. Let's see. So here it will actually cast them to an integer. And then let me just check this. And it checks the distance based on the event, not actually based on the projectile that's been created. That's very interesting. So let's say this is, I mean, it needs to survive this call without crashing though. But let's say this is not the number 10, but like the string containing 10. Then this will be a string, but then within the constructor, it will be casted into an integer. So the behavior from that point of the projectile will be fine. But down here, when it's checking like, was this actually like not too far from the player, it's going to run the distance function between the player and this event. And what is the distance function doing again? It's subtracting these things and then calling pow. Yeah, so uh, we need that to not crash, I guess. What happens if you do in Python? What if you do like, yeah, that's probably not gonna be good. Like, what could we do? Um,
What
we need
happens
some.
if it does
Sorry.
crash? Like what happens if it does crash actually?
Mm, that is a good. Oh wait, is this whole thing in a? Oh, okay. It will just print the exception and then, you know, move on. And this thing is already, okay. So this is already added to the game state. So it will catch this exception and it will not care. So what if we just kill the boss? So let's do, it's just gonna check button. Okay, and then we needed this because we need the position of the boss. Wait, have I edited stuff here? Oh yeah, I just. It was in this world. This was a constant we had world size, right? Yes, because this was how the boss. I think the boss spawn was. Uh, Here. Yes. So this is the location where we're gonna shoot stuff. So in the client, can I add like, can I do like right click to do this instead to just make it nice? Maybe this is button 2.
Yeah, or maybe button 3, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. So we will shoot and then we just skip all of this stuff and we do this as a string for the X position and this as a string. I mean, I could have written, and the direction shouldn't matter because it should be right on top of the boss. Let's see. I think I lost your camera feed, Apo.
Yeah, something happened to Discord for a second.
Yeah. Great. You're back. Nice. So first of all, actually, let's just like try this with something a little bit more reasonable before we do the real thing. So let's do, what was our spawn position? It was something like 150, like 150, 150 or something like this, I think. Where is server player 150, 150. So let's add like, put the shot in like, I don't know, 300 or something. So where are we? Down here, let's do like maybe 400 and 100, just to check that this thing is working so we can actually see them on the shots on screen. Whoa. Something. Oh, wait, is this parse client events? Oh, this thing is not. Okay, so should be able to just, I don't know, do this maybe. Okay. Seems to be working fine. Great. Except, all right. Oh yes, of course. I had the true thing here. Oh yeah. All right. Let's kill the boss. So let's try this.
You still had to move the mouse or something.
Oh yeah, someone killed the boss. Nice. Yeah. So that's good. Let's connect to the real server and do this. Now something broke.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was the server.
Let's see. It looks like it's killing me when I'm joining. It's interesting. Going to. Oh, now I killed the boss. Okay. Ints in strings and check after create. Oh my. That was the third flag.
Yeah. You can try to jump.
Oh, right. I need to. Okay. I probably shouldn't. We should probably. Edit this back to not mess things up. And then what did we do with the here? Yeah, that's fine. Should be fine at least. Ah, okay. Look at me flying. Okay, nice. So we had already solved part 2, but we didn't actually connect to the server and do it. Nice. So that's the challenge. And yeah, it's a really nice one. So in summary, we had the first part was infinite ammo because that was checked client side, and then it was the flying by reloading and then jumping, because the same flag that was checking that you couldn't jump too fast or that you were jumping was the same flag as used for checking whether you were reloading or not. So you could just jump, reload, and so on. And then finally, by having the projectiles that we create be of the wrong type, then we could actually create them wherever we wanted. So that's very nice. So let's close down some of these and go back here. Okay, so that's this done, and then we're gonna do some web challenge. Securelogin. Close this, close that, clear this, update this.
Yeah, I had the bug in the code that you could actually go near the boss, so that was a little bit sad from my side because not everyone got that like the real intended way. But yeah, that was the intended way, the in strings.
So some people just did what I was talking about, like move, stand on top of. Yeah. stand on top of the boss and shoot them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean
So you can,
that's
because
also
you can just make it so that it will always send the shoot event inside the boss, and then you will just jump right next to the boss.
right. You can make the client figure out. I mean, you could basically write your whole bot for this, right? So
Yeah.
that would like play through the game and
Yeah. In the
stuff.
first week when this was running, there were like so many bots in the server, so you can spawn like 50 clients, and then they are all like all on top of each other. So then you can shoot uh, like quite a
Uh,
lot because you have 50 players.
yeah, nice. So now we're going to look at this secure login challenge, which is a web challenge, difficulty hard. Oh no. Proof of concept, put it on the public internet, dev team is confident. Can you prove them wrong? Flag is in /etc/flag.txt. So let's close this directory. Secure login. Notes here. This is the website. This challenge is based on a real-world example of finding from a bug to pretty much, well, but some clues maybe around what to do. Okay, interesting. Let's go to this website. Um, bad request. Browser sent an invalid request, and then this is like capitalized. Okay. Um,
Yeah, see, maybe it
or is this
should
not
work.
supposed to, is it supposed to actually give us some web page?
Yeah, it should give something. Let's see. Um, I'm not actually sure why,
Yeah.
because when I tested it, it worked. So something has maybe
Okay.
changed.
I mean, we can move on to the next challenge in the meantime, and then maybe you can have a look at it.
Yeah.
So we can do this then. Enter the world of binary. Is that the name of the? Ah, okay. There are two challenges. Enter the world of binary deep inside ones and zeros. Okay, so let's skip the web one for now and switch to this world of binary. World of binary. So we go this, we click here. Are you able to find something interesting inside this compilation? And then there is a file we can download. Great. Go to world of
Yeah, now the
binary.
Securelogin is also running.
Okay. Um, okay, let's do the secure login because we started on that. And then I have this prepared. So back to the secure login thing. Here, reload page. Okay, you shall not pass. Very secure login. Here's development version for backends. Very secure it is. Check the source code. Oh, there is something here. Debug information. Remember to remove before moving to prod. Okay, so we can do a post to /xml.php with some XML. So let's look at this. This is go. So this is some base64 data. What's this? Looks. So this base64 data decoded to this, which is like part of some XML. Um,
I think it's URL encoded or something.
yeah. So I mean, this part is. Oh, okay, there is some URL encoded stuff inside there as well. Okay, yeah, so let's just do this properly. Thank you, Federico. URL decode and then base64 decode. Okay, good. Thank you. So this is what it looks like. Okay, so we have some username and password that we can post to this thing. So I'll just write a small. So some people prefer like using tools like in the browser or like Burp or something for web challenges. I usually just use Python for a lot of this stuff. So we can do a post request to this xml.php and we should then post this as like a regular HTTP like HTML form with one field called XML, which should be the base64 encoded XML data of what we're trying to send. So let's start with just sending this thing. So we take our credentials, base64 encode this, get some text, and then we post this the form, we get some results, we print that, and then we try to run this. And it says username or password not found, try harder. So it seems like we have correctly interacted with this. Let's see what happens if we just like remove this to just see, do we get another response? Okay, can we just like, I just want to get like an error message or something. Okay, maybe it's just giving the same error message for everything. Can we just try with like, right? So at this point, there are a couple of things that comes to mind. Like we could have like some SQL injection at this point. It's XML, so there could be XXE involved. Let's see what happens if we put like some quotes here. Or here. So now we're just trying things to get like some kind of reaction from this to see if you know, just give me some kind of information. So I'm trying to maybe like create an error or just do something that does something. Could there be like I should probably save the original template here that we were given to just make sure I have that here if we start messing around with this. Okay, so it could be XXE, which I'm terrible at, so I always have to look this up all the time. Just go to like this GitHub repository. So the idea is that you have a payload that looks like this. This is, what a coincidence that it looks very much like this. The question is like, can we test this in a way where we get information out in an easy way? The problem is like, it doesn't, for example, it doesn't print back what we are sending. It doesn't say that like, the username like that we input, it's not echoed back. So in that case, these simple XXCs, which like includes thing, so if you would do something like this, for example, uh, let's say this thing was like in the username, and then it could say like username colon, and then the content of this is invalid or something. But this is not going to happen here since it's not printing back the username that we are giving it. So that's annoying. But you can load things from like remote servers. What is this called? Like external. Sorry, you can do this the DTD thing like this. Or is it? Yeah. So this is like something I always have to like look at. Basically, you can like trick it into, if this is you could trick it to load another DTD from a server to just get some kind of reaction. I'm not sure if this is going to be the case, but then you could make it so it makes a request to our server separately.
There was a couple of points higher. There was this blind XXE.
Oh, yes. Okay, so you would do something like this. So yeah, so you would put this then like this. And right. Oh, wait, you have to put this whole. Where does this end? Oh, okay, it's all the way down there. Okay, right. Yes. Sorry. So you do this, and then we put this element. So we need to change. So there's a question: can we play this game? Yeah. So there should be a link in the description. I think someone pointed out that I had accidentally written it with like 2 HTTPS or something, but it's this URL 2021.challenge.fi. Yeah, I might have misspelt it or something in the description. I will update that, but I just posted it in the chat as well. Anyway, so we can then probably just put this here. So what this would do is, if this works, it would load the etc password file and send it to example.com. So what we need is like request.bin.net, I think. Something like this. This is a page that will like record all the requests made to it and show it to you. So if we do something like this, and then we look here, it doesn't look like any request was made. We should try to do what was web secure login. Actually try this file as well. Could it be that it's like specifically looking for this structure? So we could do something like the element could be like change this to like user and have this here. Is there an right? Oh, we could try. Let's check if there's something with like HTTP and HTTPS as well. Oh, no. So it doesn't look like we're getting a request. So um, just want to print this out so that it's actually. Yeah. This is tricky because like, so this might, I mean, at this point, we still don't have any, any reason to believe that this is the correct path. We haven't seen anything that tells us that this would be, the way to go. But so we tried like the two most obvious things here, like the like SQL injection. But the problem again is that we are not really getting any response back. So I mean, it still could be a SQL injection, but we're just not getting any error or anything back because we haven't managed to get this to like do anything for us. That's an issue here. Wonder if first of all we can just check some like silly, is there something like this, or just check some obvious URLs to see if there's like more information. Like check headers. Actually, what happens if we go to the XML.php file with just a GET request? It also says username or password not found. Try harder. Yeah, it's a bit annoying. I'm worried. Like, are we sending? I'm gonna just make sure that we are. Is that header being set correctly? The content type. Application URL encoded. Yes, that's what we're looking for. Host. Do we have to set the host? No, that's not gonna. That shouldn't work, right? Because headers. What's it?
Yeah, I think there was some overlap on this because the
Yeah.
Kyyber challenge was also on the same port, so I think it should say the 8880.
Okay. Yeah. So exactly, this is just like an artifact of how it was set up. Mm, yeah, it doesn't change anything.
Yeah, but I think this one was this kind of source of a lot of frustration because if you have to do something blind, then it's
Yeah.
you don't know what is wrong.
Yeah, this is definitely annoying. Is there something with like, can I just skip that encoding part? Will that make any change? Like any difference? Um, how do I actually declare like a proper structure? What's the I don't think I've ever written like a proper DTD in my life. But I'm thinking that what is this saying? Is it saying like that the user element can appear like anywhere, or can we, how do I say that I want to have like a user element inside a creds element?
You,
Uh,
I think you declared there that you have the at least this blind entity is called from inside the creds.
yeah, so I mean, this is just my question is, so here I'm saying that, so this is just saying that there is something that like there is a user element and there is a blind entity. Uh, and there's an XXC entity which is being used here. Um, wait, shouldn't there be? Um, okay, yeah, I don't quite understand this. And then maybe, oh, we did it. We didn't try this variant where we, let's see, before we even do this, we can just directly try to reach out to our server without, I mean, we don't need to leak any information at this point. Uh, we just need to get like any kind of reaction from the server. Oh, I'm stupid. Is this?
Mm. But that was what you sent to the with curl or something.
Yeah, but this shouldn't be raw. Wait, is this or is it encode? I was thinking that I. Um, no, okay, maybe this is just how request bin formats thing. I was thinking that I had accidentally done, you know how like if you convert, if you just like in Python just convert a byte sequence to a string, you get like the representation of it. Like
Yeah.
if you do this, then it will include this stuff and it will break the thing. So isn't this what's happening here?
like should not because you.
Oh no, wait, it's actually it's properly parsing it up here, right? So this is just how they display it here. So this is great. Now I'm like tricking myself into weird stuff. Okay. Uh, so what is it then? Um,
But it's
what's
in
going
these
on?
XXEs that it's really hard to know what the server is doing and what it actually is allowed to do.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So wait, what's the difference between entity system and then the URL?
Because you're using the system I don't know what you call that, but with different kind of, so you use this file and then you can use the HTTP, you can use PHP, you can use different kinds of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
protocols with the system.
So do we have the response? No, yeah, of course it's running PHP. It's XML.php. I was thinking like that I didn't know what the server is running, but we're posting to XML.php. So yes, it's probably. But yeah, in that case, could we then? Oh wait, if it allows the PHP filter and also allowing ah, okay. Uh, would something like this work? We change this to this, and then we do this. Um, yeah, we're having another fun variant of this. Um, um,
There's, at least you can choose the port and the protocol.
yeah, but that shouldn't really matter here. I mean, since we're just doing. Can we get wait from this request in DNS? Oh, right.
Yeah, you
Can we
can try
see
the
if
DNS bin.
yeah, see if we even get like anything happens. Like if we do this here. Um, um, okay, so here there was a lookup to debug. Yeah. That was my test. And then if we do this, yeah, it doesn't seem to have even resolved the domain, which would indicate that none of these things are working. What if we just actually, can I put this outside here? Like, will it? It's very quick sometimes to reply as well. Yeah, there's still no lookups at all. So yeah, it doesn't seem to be even like resolving those domains, which is annoying.
Yeah, so it then might not be the port because it shouldn't matter. Like if
No,
there's some kind of
exactly.
IP tables there.
Yeah, exactly. It's like this should do, like it should at least then just resolve. Like, could we do something stupid like this and just see like can we get it to like time out or crash or something? Um, you know, get like a server error or it's still. Hmm.
It doesn't seem to mind
X
that.
backend. This is a strange header. Hmm. I don't recognize this. But it's not backend server. It's just, no, all of these are wrong.
Yeah, I think it's this HA proxy
Okay.
that is running on the infra.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I'm a little bit lost here. I guess we could try more with the SQL injection route actually, but that's also like very difficult. Of course, you could try to like run something like SQL map, which would try and encode everything, but I don't know. I might gonna need a hint on this one actually.
Yeah, yeah, I think we might want to test some more protocols there. We have.
Okay. Yeah. Let's let's see what's there are any other things suggested here. What?
At that point, when you have the system in the XML or the XXE, then it
Yeah.
is. I'm not sure how it actually is run, but I think it's something like this, just normal that you can put pretty much anything there that has some kind of handler.
Yep. So that would be in PHP. So it has the protocol handlers here. We want a list of what could be interesting, like FTP. I guess could be of interest. So
I haven't known that you can actually use SSH from PHP.
yeah, I don't know exactly how that works. It sounds very dangerous. But I mean, we want something that, because we're running completely blind here, so we want something that does something over a connection. So things like file is not going to be interesting at this point because we don't really control the contents of any file or anything. So something like HTTP could work, FTP could work. Actually, what happens if we do that? If we do just change this to FTP, can we get a hit on the? Oh, right. This. Oh, protocol FTP username password not found. Wow, that's interesting. So if we go here now,
You didn't actually call the entity at anywhere, the XXE3 entity. So it's not referenced.
That's going to be an issue, yeah. Oh wait, how did it know?
But it might still do it, even though we don't call it.
Oh, I'm just temporarily going to get rid of some of this stuff. Just clean this up a little bit. I would expect this to at least like resolve the domain again. But why is it saying protocol FTP? Is it because is this just because there's a string? Okay, so because there is FTP : / somewhere in the payload, it suddenly prints protocol FTP. And we get it to react to anything. Okay, but at least this works. Okay. So then, do I need to set up an FTP server then? That's the interesting. I probably do. Do I even have like a server set up at the moment? I could wait. Actually, yes, and then do like is the port 21 right? Is the FTP?
Yes.
Did I actually? Yes. Well, hmm. Oh, no, wait. Is this? Wait, am I using the wrong? Should I be using this base 64? Why is there a loss? Oh,
Yeah. Can it actually even do DNS? One of the questions.
hmm. So there was a question. You maybe need to add a username. Also, a good point. But yes, actually, maybe that's a good point. Maybe we can't even do DNS. Maybe we need to do. Whoops. Hmm. Yeah. No, okay. It was using this. I was just double checking which base 64 char sets was actually used. But no, it is using the one with plus, and then it's just making sure it's URL encoded. So this shouldn't be
Mm.
anything weird there.
Yeah, and it
Uh,
is getting the FTP at least correctly. So I think it's
wait. Yeah, why am I not getting a connection at all then? Is um yeah, at this point I have not really sure. Am I doing like this XXE thing incorrectly? What's the most basic? version. Oh, we can maybe just skip all of this complex stuff. Doc type. Yeah, let's do this variant and then put this here, remove all of this. And do something like this. Oh, there we have a connection. All right. Damn. Okay, so it was probably something wrong with my how I was doing the XXC. So if we do something, let's see, can we then do like this? Something like this. Okay, that was
Yeah,
that
you're
didn't
missing
work.
the semicolon.
Uh, just
But the FTP is a strange protocol because I think you have to be that the server has to be the first one to.
yes, exactly. I definitely will need to
Mm.
actually send something, but uh, I just want to get that connection. Like it says listening now, and now I'm not. By the way, I should have saved the version that did work. I think just needed something like this, wasn't it? Do I actually need to? No, wait, I need to put it inside a, let's go back up here. Um, this. Wasn't wasn't this what I did just the other moment? Let's copy this, go back a bit.
Yeah, the good lesson here is to not overwrite your working code.
Yeah, definitely. So this was working. Okay, good. How was this different from the thing I just? I mean, now these are identical, right? Um, What? Oh, wait.
You're
Was
missing
it
the
just that
string.
I was? Okay. Okay. So, okay. Yeah, I'm, you know, clearly a bit rusty here. So let's try this variant again. We do this. I mean, okay, let's start simple. Let's not even use the document we are. Sorry, of course. Let's. And if we remove this part, will it work? No. So I'm just. In this variant. Okay, that works. And now adding something like this. This should not affect anything. Like this should still. Okay, this still works. Good. And now if we put this together, uh, like this, it should still work. No. Um, is it like we don't have X, can't do the file thing? Like,
Or it might be that the file is in format that you can just put into a URL or.
right. What's that?
So can you get like dev null if you just put.
Yeah, I was thinking like host name. But yeah, dev null is also a good idea. No, am I like writing this incorrectly? So if we don't have this part, it's working fine. Okay. So it's specifically this, like including this entity in the request. By the way, what's the, we can do that in a moment. Wait, why? Okay. Inside inside username? There's a question. Maybe you need to add, sorry. Wait, no, that should be, these should be nested. Like basically what we're trying to do here is that we this entity resolves to this thing, which should be to fetch this stuff from this FTP server. And then it should include this other XXC entity, which in turn should be the result of this file. Can you do it like this? Will that work? Um, okay, let's try it. What's the FTP protocol example? It starts with like 220 hello or something like this. Um, I think we should. Can we do just? Let's try to do this again. Um,
Yeah, if you can use this Python lib, what is this?
yeah.
libftp, so you can get this FTP server running with a single Python module. So if you pip install the Python libftp,
I think maybe we can just. Yeah. Okay. There you have it.
if you want, you can pip install the FTP, like Python libftp.
Yes, that might be a good idea. Or yeah, but for now it's fine. The problem here right now is that we are not like it's not using this. It's not actually including this file name or the file. Wait. So could you do the PHP thing then to get? Because now we're interested in like protocol handlers locally that could work. Because it looks like it's not um, like it's not accepting the file thing, maybe. So could we do something? Yeah, I mean that could be the case. So there was a suggestion maybe the files are multi-line and that's the problem. So that was also suggested here by Upper. But the problem is I tried dev null and it still gave an error. Also tried etc hostname, which should be just a single line. But let's see if we can do the PHP filter thing. That's also doesn't seem to be working. I mean, even like we should be able to just do like a static like this entity, like just skip the XSC, just do like this. Even that's not working. So now, okay, let's delete this part. Oh, sorry, we need a. Isn't that how you do it? So I would imagine that you could just do this and get this as a fixed, just as a static string, but that doesn't seem to
You're not
work.
You're not. Are you? You're not getting the.
No, I'm not even getting the connection. So
No.
like this is not working. Yeah. So that's a bit annoying.
Yeah, I think there are a couple of different ways of how you can access files, the XXE. So I think there was maybe in the resource that you had. So
Let's see. So we have system, this file thing. Yeah, but at the current, I mean, the problem right now is that we're not even getting.
you have the PHP filter.
Yes. Yes. And that didn't seem to, like, the problem is that I'm not even getting like a static string. Like this shouldn't even be related to, I'm doing something wrong with how I'm writing this this XXE. No. Oh, okay, wait, now it worked. Yes. So this should have been replaced by this string, I think. But that doesn't seem to be the case. How does the FTP PHP FTP colon slash slash the protocol handler could we put it in the, can we set the username here? Can we do this? So we can set the username. Could we even put the injection in the hmm
Yeah, it doesn't.
percent? Is it this? Oh wait, sorry. Um, oh, I can't. It seems like it's. Wait, is it your like? It looks like it's like URL decoding. Do I need to like double encode? What's percent is 25. Okay, so these percentage, they are not being treated as the like XML variables or oh, there's something like why are they getting why is this not getting expanded into the thing up here? That's very annoying. I'm doing something wrong when I'm doing this. Percent. Question, are you winning sound? Yeah, definitely not. Something really annoying going on here. And this always happens when I'm doing XXC stuff. There always sound like small, silly little mistake. Can I get like something test like a local testing here? Can I get like a PHP file running like PHP parse XML to see what's like actually happening? Yeah, can I do like this? Test.php. Okay, let's do this instead. Um, although maybe my PHP installation will not. Oh, have I not installed this? PHP XML. Is XXC still enabled by default nowadays in PHP?
It might not be, but
Maybe we should have done this a long time ago. Doc type improperly terminated. Parser content declaration expected. Internal error not found. Um, XML disable. Okay, is this? Here we have something. Load string. Okay, so we can do this. It doesn't seem to like me using that. Still getting some errors. What if I just do like the most basic payload here and just try this and see if this works? Okay, this worked. Wait, do I want to like remove? Do I even need this part then? Invalid URI.
Yeah, it's not seeming to actually like use the entity there.
Hmm. Yeah, if I just temporarily get rid of this. Uh, okay, then I get the connection. Okay. Okay, should have done this a long time ago for this like quicker iteration. But anyway, so we can skip all of that then for now. Okay, that's fine. Um, so now, why can't we do this? First of all, can I do like? Oh, I mean, of course, I don't have this this file on my. Right. Sorry, this is not. Oh, of course. I'm stupid. I'm looking at the wrong output. We need to, of course. Wait, why is it not? Oh, because we're not finished. Ooh, okay. I'm being very sloppy now. Uh,
Mm.
okay, so let's temporarily not do that. And then we are getting the filing included there. Okay. So let's go back with this. And the problem here is that invalid URI. Oh, sorry, it should be like this. And if this was like, okay, so isn't this doing like the exact same thing as they're doing in the example? Like, if we remove this, then it works fine. Like, then we get. I mean, I switched it to HTTP now, but it's the same. It's the same thing.
Yeah. You can
But
also try the HTTP with the port 21 on the real server. That would work.
mm,
So if you try HTTP with port 21.
yes, but even if this works, that doesn't help.
Yeah, you have the XX.
Okay, nice. But that doesn't solve the problem, right? Because we still have. Sorry. No, wait. That's. Oh, sorry. I was. Okay, running not the right thing. Invalid URI. Yeah, so it's not expanding the. It's not expanding this entity and replacing it with the or this element or whatever you call it. So that's.
Yeah. So it's not parsing the but is it so that our local is not also doing that? So also the local one doesn't like it.
Yes, exactly. So because I'm basically trying to do this thing in the example, right? Where I will like take the contents of this. Do I need to put it inside an element like this? Or I don't know why that would be needed.
Yeah, most likely not.
Yeah, this is just like inconsistent. Yeah,
Yeah, it
doesn't even
doesn't
seem to
like the
work.
element.
Yeah, but I don't see why that would be required because like if we do this, if we skip that and then like we skip this XXC part and we just do it like this.
Yeah.
Failed to open stream. If we just temporarily replace this with, we just skip the system part here. Extra content. Uh,
Do you need the system there to actually? Yeah, you just
yeah,
mean
yeah.
just
I just um, I just want to see that it like works like that, and then we can add the system thing. And then if I can do what is that thing in Python called HTTP dot server, I think. Yes, and then I can do like port 21.
And you can,
Invalid element name.
yeah, because it's now trying to load something from there. Because it's trying to get the system from the URL that you're giving, but if you're not returning anything, if you're giving like 401, what
But I mean that should just be it should just be. Oh, okay, I see. Maybe okay, that's how it works, right?
So if you fetch like a file named A and then put a file named A there.
Um, mm,
But you now have the element any that it didn't like in the top.
yeah, that's
Yeah, don't think that is necessary. So
yeah, okay.
just
Okay, so there you get the string hello. Okay, fine. But now, why can I not do this?
it somehow doesn't like it, but of course you could give it like this DTD, because if you can load things from the somewhere, so
Okay, so we could put right. Oh yeah. How does that work? If it's because it's parsing. Okay, let's close down a few of these and then do like XXE DTD include maybe something like this. So maybe it's kind of messing up our initial, but if we can include like an external DTD and then from there do the inclusion thing.
I think you had one in the last page where you had this second to last from the.
Um,
You have the DTD in the second to last, like the inside soap example. So you have there the DTD system.
right. And then they
And so you load the DTD from the URL and then you call the DTD.
yes, and but then wait, what? Uh, yeah, but I don't need this C data thing then, right? Or
But then if you like call the DTD, then that like includes all the entities inside of the.
right. So I would just uh, immediately do something like so we do it like this with the percent, and then immediately do here like this. First it gets the, okay, and then you move this. So we have this file B, and here you would do that's, yeah, okay, that's correct then. Nice. So then we finally we would add like, oh, okay, we would add this, and then we would add like this here. No, it's still claiming that this is an invalid URL. So this doesn't make any sense to me. And again, like if I just do without the system to just have it as a string.
Maybe you could put this question mark into the, so maybe that helps with that.
No, we're still just getting the parser error, invalid. Yeah, it still doesn't want to like recognize this URL encoded. I don't know. Do we have anyone in the chat with any suggestions? I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. Like the percent thing should
Does it
include
matter what kind of like quotes you have on that? So if you put like a single quote.
I mean that should not matter, right? But
Yeah, it doesn't.
no, I still think this is an invalid URL. I don't know. Maybe should we, I don't know, give up on this temporarily and maybe come back to it. I don't like this should be the thing. Like it should be able to like remove blind percent blind. No, but the blind one, that one is expanding because we're getting the maybe use the XXC payload in the user password of the HTTP request. Yeah, so I think the issue is that, well, I mean, we could definitely try that. We could definitely try that. But it seems to me that this is like the thing is not being like expanded into the results at all. Like if I do XXC2 here, no, wait, and then like at, it says that this is like an invalid URL here. Like this is not being expanded to the value of that entity. So this is the issue here. And I mean, yeah, what's it? Exploiting blind. Yeah, we can actually blind XXC. Let's. Exploiting. Right. Okay, so they're doing this slightly different way here. Good sir, have you tried harder? That's a very good suggestion. So let's do the file, and then it's doing eval. Okay, let's try this. We put this here. We change this part to this. We modify this. We modify this. Maybe I should actually start the web server. Parser error detected entity reference loop. Wait, what did I put in this? That's fine. Eval exfiltrate. And then we should be able to put simply something like this in the. Oh. Got to start the web server again.
Because you have the
The
XXE. So what do you have inside the C file?
in this C file,
You have
I
exfiltrate
have this.
eval file,
So
and then inside the other file, you had the XXE entity.
yeah, I think your camera feed disappeared again.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, you're
Discord
back.
or something.
Yeah, sorry. I actually don't know what's going on here. So I will leave this for now. this is, you know, what's happening. Like this always happens to me when there's XCC stuff. There's some silly mistakes. I don't know why it's not working. I'm like thinking I feel like I'm doing like the exact thing you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
There's
it
some weird
should
stuff going
be
on there.
should be. So I'm looking at
Yeah.
this, so I'm not really know. I don't know what you are doing different than.
Yeah, let's wrap up with this one of these binary things. Let's do something which I'm actually able to do. Okay, let's set the scene again. So we have downloaded this level1.out. We run file on it. It's a macOS 64-bit executable. So this is a macOS binary. And we can open this in a program such as Binary Ninja. Web is for noobs anyway. Yes. Hello, Matthias. Um, absolutely agree. Let's go do some real stuff. No, but I don't know why it's not working. That should be working. It feels like all the posts, everything was like doing the same thing. And yeah, for those who don't know, Matthias is very good at web exploitation. So that's it's a little bit it's a joke. So what were we doing? Stream, World of Binary. We open this. So I'm using Binary Ninja here as my disassembler. You can use things like Ghidra is free. Binary Ninja is not very expensive, especially if you're a student. There's IDA, which I can also show, which is way more expensive, but very nice also. So here we have a main function. So I don't have Mac OS on this computer, obviously. So I cannot run this, and I don't have like an emulator or a virtual machine or whatever. So I cannot run this program. So we're gonna have to do this completely statically. So what we can do is we can use the compiler or like high-level intermediate language in Binary Ninja to get this output. So first I was using the disassembly output to just get the disassembly, but this is like a bit annoying to read. So we can switch to the high-level intermediate language, which is almost like C, and then this becomes way more readable. So we see it's printing you shall not pass, then it's calling the gets function on this variable. So this is our input variable. And then it's printing back your password is this. And then it's comparing it to this. So this would be the correct password. And if it's not, they will print that it's the incorrect password. And otherwise, which is if this is the correct password, it says it has been accepted. And then it goes here, and probably it's doing a little bit of decryption. This thing here would be a string. So we're just telling it this is a string. Go back here. Can I? Yeah, it's printing this variable here. So basically what's going on here is that here we have some kind of loop variable. It's looping through 20, so this is 20 characters. So it's a regular for loop here. We are here's just upcasting this to like a 64-bit int. So this is just the inter. We're indexing into this array of characters. Plus 2. Let's see. So we're adding 2 to this. And then we're printing it. Is that it? Let's see. What's this 7 thing here doing? Yeah, maybe these variables are not used. Okay. So this could be what's going on. It's just like adding 2 on all the on all the ASCII values of these characters. So there are some ways, different ways you could. We could just copy paste this into a script, or sorry, yeah. But I like to, whenever I'm working with binaries like this, and there's like some data I want to work with, I like to just like use the script as well to extract data to make sure that I'm really getting the correct thing out, so that it's not like some error when I'm copy pasting and so on. So what we can do is we should be able to offset here. Yes. So what's showing here in this output here, it's the virtual address of this string when it's loaded in memory. But we want to copy the actual offset inside the file. So it should be this. So we can go to this location and then read our 20 bytes. So let's just print this out and see that this is correct. Actually, DJ question mark. Yeah, that looks correct. Okay, good. So it's the correct place. So now what we want to do is we want to then loop through all of the values and add 2 to them. And then we want to print the results of that. And we get the flag. We can even nicely decode this to actually get a flag. So yeah, that's how you solve that. So that was a bit easier than the web one.
Yeah, it depends a little bit.
Yeah, what your experience is, of course. So like reverse engineering like this is my like favorite area, which I'm actually good at. I mean, I should have. I mean, I should have been able to solve the XXE one. I don't know what I messed up. So yeah, that's unfortunate. But anyway, so this is how I would do this one. So here using Binary Ninja, if you use Ghidra, you can get a very similar kind of output with the decompiler there. It's free to download. I think Binary Ninja has they have a cloud version that's like in your browser. And I think this should be pretty good for a lot of stuff. Let me just find my password. Uh, It was a long time since I used this. Maybe it's this one. Yes. Okay, so let's try this cloud-based thing. We upload this. And it's waiting a little bit, analysis complete. And you get this like directly in your browser, nothing installed. We can go from disassembly, go through here to the high level intermediate language. So this is just, you can just do this for free on the cloud.binary.ninja, register, upload the binary, look at it like this. And where did it go? The main function. And you get something like this. So that's pretty cool, I would say. I mean, already from here, it becomes, fairly readable. And then we can do a lot of these analysis and yeah, do what I just did in the desktop version. So this is a free way to use Binary Ninja, which I mean, of course, you probably wouldn't do this to like upload any like sensitive binaries or whatever, but for like CTF challenges, this is great. Also good that it can be used from like any computer, and you can like share these projects as well. I think I haven't really used that functionality a lot, but you can do this, and like if you're collaborating with someone, you can send it to them, and yeah, so that's pretty cool. Let's do the second one of that, and then maybe that's a good place to wrap up for today. We've been streaming for, oh wow, like 3 hours. Um, so let's get the other one. It was called Deep Inside Ones and Zeros. So we download that. We create ones, zeros. We go there, and then we run file on this, level 2, which is also a Mako executable. So we will open this up in Binary Ninja. We have the main function here. We switch to this high-level intermediate language. And this time, it's not as straightforward. It starts in a similar fashion. Whoops. It asks for a password, and then it checks that the length of the password is 11, so that's 11 characters long. And then what happens is stuff going on here. So we have some counter variable here. It loops through the 11 characters. And then you have this data here, and it's picking it out, and it's XORing with 7, and then comparing. So what we should do here is that we should set the type of our input here properly. So we say that this is our input, and it's then like at least 12 characters long. Yeah, that didn't do very much. So Binary Ninja likes to be very specific about like the sizes of the different variables, but it can become a little bit cluttered. But yeah, so basically what's going on here is that we're indexing into the input array with this I variable, and we're doing the same from this thing here. So it takes out one value from here, XOR with 7, and then compares them. And if they're not equal, we set this to 1. And then here it checks if that is 0, then it does stuff. So this is basically like a fail flag. And then what happens is that if the password was correct, it does a similar thing as last time, where it picks out from this array and XORs with 9. So basically, there are at least 2 ways you could do this. You could figure out what this password is, run this on a computer, input the password, and it will decrypt the flag and print it for you. Or we can just go directly here and decrypt this thing. So we're going to do basically, I mean, it's going to be almost identical code as last time. So we're going to check here the offset. It's down here, copy the file offset. So we're just going to copy our previous script. There, do level 2. And let's see how long should it be. This goes to hex 17, which is 23. So we want to read 23 bytes. And then we're not doing +2 here. We're doing an XOR with 9. And yeah, that should basically be it. So we run this and we decrypt the flag. Yeah. I think this is a good place to wrap up. I think this was fun. It was a long time ago since I was streaming, so a little bit rusty on some of these things. So yeah, the XXC challenge could probably have gone smoother, but I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Um,
that one was evil. So I haven't solved that myself, and I was watching when we put those challenges up, the people's frustration, because that was the last one that everyone got.
yeah, I see. Yeah, we should probably look into that, and then we could do maybe one like more of these streams going through the challenges if people enjoy it. Um, so yeah, we had a question here. Did the hiring process for security engineer intern 2022 end? Yeah, so for those who don't know, I work at Google normally as a security engineer, and we are hiring interns. Uh, what I know is that the application window closed a long time ago, but I don't think they're actually done with doing the interviews and stuff. I don't know, but that's basically it about that, I think, for now. Um, yeah, other than that, if there are any questions before we close out, please um, please post them. Sent one but got no reply yet. Yeah, unfortunately, I have no idea if they are like still interviewing or if they are done or like what's the situation there. So yeah, I wish I could get a clear answer. They have been very slow this year. I don't know. There's something. Yeah, something didn't work out with the process for the European interns there. I don't know what happened, but yeah, something went wrong. Yeah, other than that, Apo, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
Not much, but thank you for solving this, because it's of course nice to see someone actually doing this, and
Yeah.
even with these frustrations of the XXE, then of course this is meant for quite young people, and I think that at least the people watching
Yeah.
might have shared the same frustrations that it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's impressive for them if anyone solved this. There is the current one going on right now, right, for this year, for
Yes,
this challenge.
yes.
So
So we have some challenges this year, and more coming. So we have this European cybersecurity challenge also coming. That is this Europe-wide competition, and this Generation Jet Hack is the Finnish qualifier for that. But I think many European countries have their own qualifiers for people under 25 participating in the Europe-wide competition. So
yeah, no, that's super nice. Actually, for the first time, Sweden is going to participate in the European Cybersecurity Challenge. So we hosted the first part of the qualifiers for the juniors like a few weeks ago. So I'm really looking forward to that. We have not been participating before.
yes. So, but were you in some part of the Swedish ECSC?
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I never participated myself since Sweden didn't. But yeah, I'm helping out a little bit with the qualifiers for like to pick the Swedish team and so on. But yeah, so if you want to try these challenges, and like especially if you are a Finnish person below 25 years or up to 25, you should definitely check it out. And I mean, otherwise you can check it out. Like, I mean, anyone could try the challenges anyway, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, cool.
You might even get some swag if we are if we have more than enough, then we
Yeah,
might send some.
yeah, that's great. Right. So, well, yeah, someone said I should stream more like I used to. Thanks. Yeah, I might. I mean, I'll probably stream more. We'll see what more means. It's probably not going to be every week, but definitely, I think my last stream was like in September or something. So let's try to do it more frequently than that, and we'll see what happens. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this, and you know, tune in next time. So bye.
Bye.